At the start of the movie, we are shown two boys named Wallace and Teddy. They run a podcast. They also have a website with this name. They are discussing a video in which a boy injures his leg with a sword. Now Wallace says that he will go to Canada to interview this guy so that they can get content for their podcast and their website. In the next scene, we are shown that the next day Wallace arrived in Canada. Their police officer was asking him some questions. After it, he reaches that boy's home, and there Wallace comes to know that boy has committed suicide because the social media was roasting him. Here Wallace doesn't feel sad. That boy has committed suicide. He feels sad that his arrival in Canada is wasted. After it, Wallace goes to a bar. Then he calls Teddy, and he tells him that now this story can't be done. On it, Teddy suggests he should search for a new story. After it, Wallace goes to the washroom of that bar. There he sees a note. There was written by a man on the note that he has many adventurous stories, and if anybody wants to hear them, so come to him. There was also written a number on it. Wallace calls on that number because he thinks that maybe he got the new stories for the podcast. Now on call, Wallace tells Mr. Howard that I am coming to meet you. Wallace goes to a store from where he purchases some things. He asks about the address from the owner girls there. They tell him this place is 2 hours far from here. After it, Wallace goes from there while taking things. When Wallace reaches that location, he sees that his house of Howard is huge, and it is in the mid of the forest. Then Howard meets Wallace, and they take tea. Here we are shown that Mr. Howard is disabled completely. He is in a wheelchair. Howard tells that he was a cook in World War II, and he cooks food for the soldiers there. And he tells that his ship was drowned and all the soldiers were dead, and only Howard left here. After it, he somehow reaches an island. There he finds a walrus. He also tells him that walrus saved his life. Here Wallace asks him how a walrus saved his life. Howard tells him that it helped a lot for survival, as when it was cold that walrus kept Howard near it. Due to this, he gets warm. After it, Howard named it Mr. Tusk. At first, Wallace didn't believe his story, but as Howard tells him his story further, Wallace takes his tea with it. And with this, Wallace takes many cups of tea. But still that story continues. Here while taking tea, Wallace feels something strange. He gets faint after some time. Then we are shown some flashbacks. These flashbacks were before the arrival of Wallace in Canada. Here he is talking with his friend while sitting. Wallace's friend says to him that she also wants to go with him to Canada, but Wallace refuses her. After hearing the refusal, that girl says that he is not that earlier Wallace, and he is changed now. Here Wallace discusses with her that if he is not taking her with him, it doesn't mean that he is changed. Now in the next scene, the present time is shown. Here Wallace opens his eyes and he finds himself in a wheelchair. He asks Howard what happened yesterday. Howard tells him how a spider bites him. After it, he gets faint. Howard called the doctor and he took out all the poison from his body. Now he accepts this thing. After it, Wallace says to Howard that he wants his mobile phone. On it, Howard says that the doctor has forbidden him to use the phone. After some time, Wallace feels that he has no legs. He couldn't move his legs. He removes the cloth from his legs. He sees that he lost one leg. It means his leg was cut. With confusion, Wallace asks Howard what happened with his leg. In it, Howard says that the doctor had cut his leg because the poison of the spider was spreading. In the next scene, it is shown that they were sitting at the dining table. There Howard asks him to eat food. Wallace says that he is also not feeling his hands. In this reply, Howard says that maybe the doctor has given the extra dose of morphine that is a medicine to you. He also says that it was necessary to give this medicine, otherwise he could shout with pain. Here Wallace understands that it's a game of Howard. He has done this with him. Then Wallace becomes aggressive. He says to Howard while bullying him, "Let me go from here." This scene is shocking. Howard walks and moves to Wallace. He slaps Wallace. He says that keep quiet. Here we come to know that Howard was just lying, that he is disabled. On the other side, it is shown that Wallace's friend Allison is weeping because Wallace didn't call her for 2 days. She tells the man in front of her that Wallace doesn't care about her and she is worried. She calls Wallace, and when the phone rings, Wallace goes to the phone in that wheelchair. But before he picks, the call ends. Due to it, Allison feels that Wallace is ignoring her. Here Wallace sends a voice note to Allison. That is how a strange man has imprisoned him in his house. With it, he also tells how he had cut his leg. He also sends the address of that house in the voice note and asks her to come soon for help. After it, Wallace sends Teddy the same voice note. Then we are shown in the next scene that the man with Allison was none other than Teddy. Here Teddy ignores his voice notes of Wallace. On the other side, when the voice note was sent, Howard arrives behind Wallace and hits his head with a stick. After it, Wallace gets faint. Now the next morning, it is shown that Allison checks her phone. She becomes happy after seeing Wallace's message. When she hears the voice note, she becomes worried. She also makes Teddy listens to that voice note. Then they get ready to go to Canada. In the next scene, we are shown a horrible thing how Howard is operating Wallace. Howard had cut both legs of Wallace, and he had made 2 teeth with them. And with it, he had also stitched the hands of Wallace together, because he wants him to move like walrus. With it, he had also cut the tongue of Walrus. Howard was doing all this because he wanted to make Wallace Mr. Tusk. The next morning, Allison and Teddy arrived in Canada, and they start searching for Wallace there. On the other side, it is shown that Howard has converted Wallace into a walrus badly. After it, he calls him Mr. Tusk and treats him like he was treating that walrus. The walrus saved Howard's life in the World War. Now because he wants to say thank you to Mr. Tusk. On the other side, it is shown that Allison and Teddy go everywhere with Wallace's picture. Maybe someone had seen him, but they didn't find any help. After finding no help, they go to the police station. There they tell that police officer how their friend Wallace is kidnapped. The police officer tells them that maybe their friend is joking with them, because there is no man named Howard here. With it, he tells them that a man came a few days ago. He was also searching for a man named Howard. His name was Guy and he was a retired cop. He also gives his number to them so that they can meet with that guy. On the other side, it is shown that Wallace is in pain, and Howard says to him that you have to swim. That's why he throws him into the water. Then he forcefully tries to swim, but he was failing. When he tries to swim, he sees a body there. That was the same as him. Here Wallace understands that he is not the first victim of Howard, and Howard had killed different people before like this. In the next scene, it is shown that Allison and Teddy meet Guy. He tells that he is searching for that Howard named man for so long. With it, he tells that Howard had killed many people before. He also tells them that he continues searching for a hockey player. And then he found an old man. He was not looking like a serial killer. But then after some days, the police found the dead body of that hockey player. After it, it was revealed that the old man was a serial killer. Guy also tells them how Howard cuts the legs of people and makes the teeth of walrus. On the other side, Howard teaches Wallace how to swim, and tells him that the real animals are humans. Howard had made Wallace Mr. Tusk completely, and he was best friend of Howard. Howard gives a raw fish to Wallace and asks him to eat it. Now because Wallace was hungry for many days, he eats that raw fish. On the other side, it is shown that Guy, Allison, and Teddy go to a store. Going there, they show the picture of Wallace. They asked him if anybody has seen him. It was the same store where Wallace came before and asked for the address. Then those girls tell that this man came here. They also give the address which he asked for. On the other side, it is shown that Howard is still teaching Wallace how to swim. And with it, he also tells him how Mr. Tusk saved his life. He tells that when he reached the island, he found a walrus. Howard had killed that walrus, and in the days which he spent on that island, he ate that walrus's meat. When he feels cold, he goes inside its body. Due to this, he gets warm. And the days he spent on the island, he lives like this till he was searched out. And when Howard leaves there, he feels that he had done bad. After it, he makes many people Mr. Tusk, because he wants to live those days again. He wants that Mr. Tusk kills Howard, so that he will be free from guilt. Here Howard comes to kill Mr. Tusk, but before he does anything, Wallace stabs his teeth in his foot, and he makes him fall. After it, Wallace goes upside down on Mr. Howard. He injures him badly with his teeth. He lost a lot of blood and he dies. Now Howard is dead calmly because it happens the same he wanted. Now he dies while getting free from the guilt. Meanwhile, Guy, Teddy, and Allison arrive there. Seeing Wallace, Allison starts weeping. Now we are shown in the next scene that Wallace is taken to a wild zoo. Teddy and Allison come to meet him. They give Wallace a fish, and he eats that fish in front of them. Here Allison weeps while seeing Wallace, and they move from there. After it is shown that Wallace is also weeping. We can imagine after seeing his tears of Wallace that there is still humanity left in him. And here the movie ends. If you like the explanation, please subscribe and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.